Today's show is brought to you by Manscaped. You know the leaders in below the waistline grooming, right? You know them. You know that crew.
Yeah.
Well, Deke, I was thinking to myself, we are in the heart of the summer. We know that football season is here, and ball security, more importantly, is at a premium right now. All right. During this time of year, man, you got to protect your balls. And the best way to do that is with Manscaped. More importantly, the Lawnmower 4.0, the waterproof one with that little light that turns on and off. You know the one we talk about, Deke. I mean, it's things like that, baby. When you talk about going low and slow to make that tree trunk show a little bit more, baby, this is what you need, all right? So don't waste time. You want to check them out. They're here for you. But more importantly, Deke, as we always say, we don't talk about anybody unless we got a promo code.
Yeah.
And that promo code, ladies and gentlemen, is MOATS. You use that, you will get 20% off of your purchase along with free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com. So stop wasting time, man. Make sure you take care of your delicate twins. And I can assure you that anybody that is, privileged enough to interact with them, they'll appreciate you as well.
Oh, yeah. How do we want to do this? Do we just want to list the starters? Because we could go position by position and rattle off like the second, third, and fourth.
How you want to do it?
I say, well, do you have it pulled up?
Yeah,
you have it pulled up. I say we go starters, and then maybe we go back and forth and say, what are your surprises? And then for the surprises, we could dig deeper into those positions.
Sound like a plan to me, man.
That's not bad.
Let's do it.
All right, quarterback.
Oh, you starting at quarterback? I thought you was going to start at the top of this. We're saying wide receiver and then left tackle.
Everyone wants to hear about the quarterback.
Who says I don't want to hear about the quarterback. I want to hear about the linebackers.
All right, we'll start linebacker.
Thank you.
Inside linebacker. Left inside linebacker. No. Right inside linebacker.
Jeez Louise, man.
Miles Jack. Locked in. Left inside linebacker. Devin Bush / Robert Spillane. Outside linebackers, obvious. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith. Defensive line, obvious as well. Ogunjobi, Alualu, Cam Hayward.
Okay.
Safeties, obvious. Minka, Terrell Edmonds.
Mm-hmm.
To note, you have Trey Norwood and Casey right behind both of them.
Very true.
Cornerbacks is where it gets interesting to me. Left cornerback, Levi Wallace / Akella Witherspoon.
Who's the right corner there?
Right corner, Cam Sutton.
Say no more.
Nickelback, Arthur Millette. Behind right cornerback, Cam Sutton is Pierre and Justin Lane. Pierre's second, Justin Lane's third. Mm-hmm. Chris Steele is behind Levi Wallace and Witherspoon on that left side. I think that's all for defense. Do we want to go over the middle linebacker?
Because you hit on the nickel, correct?
Yeah. I don't think there's anything to crazy note of the middle linebacker. You know what I mean? Who's behind the starters. All right, offense. Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. Receivers. We got 3 of them starting. Claypool, Pickens, and Deontay. Starting running back, Najee Harris. Pat Freiermuth, starting tight end. Offensive line. Right tackle, Chooks. Right guard, James Daniels. Center, Mason Cole. Left tackle, Dan Moore.
Left guard.
Competition. Kevin Dotson. Kevin Dotson is above Kendrick Green, but Kendrick Green is also listed in that first spot as well.
He definitely is. He definitely is, man.
And actually, there's no one in the second and third team either.
Uh-huh.
They on an island for that left guard spot. I think that's it. In terms of just like listing the starters and getting the main depth chart out there.
All right, so let's start with the quarterbacks, man. How do you feel about that depth chart as it currently is listed, man?
No surprise. That's what it's been since OTAs, and all these reports are coming out that it's Mitch's job to lose. I think he has been underwhelming based off these reports, and he's kind of stalked down as of late. Well, I can't say as of late. I mean, he had a decent day, but overall, the whole training camp, I'd say stalked down.
Correct.
Compared to whenever we started camp and our expectations for Trubisky heading into it. That's really, I mean, it's been the same. I mean, they're not going to just give Pickett the starting spot or even just the number 2 spot probably before even seeing any of these preseason games. He's been improving, and apparently Mason's been in the best in training camp. But you don't see the reflection on the depth chart because we still have a lot of camp left and we still got preseason games to go. I don't know. Are they going to change it like a week-by-week basis? Are they going to change it after 2 weeks? Is it going to be at the end of all this? Well, obviously, we'll be at the end of all this whenever week 1 hits.
Yeah, at the end, they'll definitely do some changes. But we could easily see some changes, going into week 2, depending on how the game goes or even going into that final preseason game as well. Also, you could see the change happen where it's not on the depth chart, but when we find out during the game,
Mason plays with
and
the
it's like,
ones.
yo, he's with the ones. Absolutely, it could definitely be that case as well, man. So it's one of those. As long as we tune it in, man, we'll definitely peep it and catch up on it. And there's plenty of eyes on every position out there, so they ain't gonna pull a fast one on us. We'll catch them.
Receivers?
Let's do it, man.
Claypool, Pickens, Deontay. I'm
Shout
good
out
with that.
to Pickens too, man. He didn't carve that thing up, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
That's a great
Yeah.
3 receiver core that we're going to start, hopefully, barring any injuries or anything, knock on wood.
Now, how you feel about Calvin Austin, though?
I was going to say that was
He's
the big
all way
shock
at
to
the
me.
bottom of this thing.
They got him. I think if you
Behind
do the
Anthony
math,
Miller and Gunnar Olszewski.
He's like 10th overall.
Miles Boykin, Steven Sims, Cody White. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that. Just because in the sense that he is unique in what he brings to the table. That speed, none of these other dudes. We got fast receivers, but nobody's doing what he's doing in terms of that speed and just his unique skill set. We also know what he brings to the table as a return man as well. Slightly, when I look at the list, though, at the same time, I say, okay, Anthony Miller, Miles Boykin, they are guys who've done this at the NFL level before.
Apparently, they haven't been having bad camps either.
No, they haven't. Without a doubt. Cody White, he's been on this team before. Gunnar Olszewski, he's been in the league before. And he's an all-pro return man. So we know it's a certain thing that comes with that. Then I'm looking at who Calvin is either equal to or in front of. Tyler Snead, Javon McKinley, and Tyler Vaughns. I just think that they went that approach of, I don't want to say experience, but it just seems
give the vets a nod.
Right, give them the nod on paper early on. Now, if Calvin goes out here on Saturday and does something special, don't be alarmed or don't be surprised when this thing changes drastically. But I just think the initial report with
we're not going to
this,
cut him.
Nah,
There's
at
no
all.
way.
I just think the initial report with this is just these older guys, these guys that are a little bit more proven, you put them on paper first. But this is in pencil. That's the one thing that Coach Tomlin always says to us during training camp when these depth charts come out. Honestly, I didn't even care about these depth charts. People hit you up, oh man, you're starting again. I'm like, bro, I am in a battle for my life. This dude they just drafted, 6'4", 260, run 4.5, baby. I ain't starting nothing right now. We still working. But that's, the vibe of the players. For the fans, you see this and you're like, yo, let me post a pic. Like, yo, this is dope. My guy's out here. But I just think for Calvin, he has to understand, man, regardless of what he sees up here, this is all in pencil, man.
It's got to be Tomlin playing mind games with Calvin Austin, seeing how he responds.
To an extent, I'm
With
sure it
Pickens,
is.
Tomlin can't play mind games with him.
I think he already knows.
Pickens is in Penn, actually.
Yeah, I think he knows. He's like, oh no, this dude might be the best receiver. Period. Yes, we're not playing that game. He might be the guy. Okay. Yeah.
No, you can't do that because Pickens will play mind games back to Tomlin. Maybe.
Hey, you better believe it.
I guess the big point of conversation on this offense is the left guard battle.
Absolutely, man.
Kevin Dotson and Kendrick Green.
Yeah, they're really trying to hit home that this is a competition that nothing is going to be handed out to Kevin Dotson, and I think to an extent I do like that based on how we saw everything play out last year. Remember last year, the reports of, Dotson being in the doghouse, questioning with the not the momentum, but the motivation and things like that. What was that going to look like? Was he complacent? Was it too much praise for him? Well, this year is very different in terms of that approach. It wasn't a lot of high expectations. It wasn't a lot of people talking about him and putting him on a pedestal. This year, even from the team's perspective, they're taking the approach of, no, you got to prove it. And I want you to prove it each and every day. So I do like that. I do think that that's going to only be beneficial for both of those guys, for Dotson and for Green. But as we talked about earlier, with Dotson obviously going out of practice earlier today with the injury, we need my man Kendrick Green to make the most of this, man. Make the most of it. Now, your physical condition, that's going to be another part that's going to be on display. Jaylen Warren, part of the reason why he was still, being viewed and talked about in a positive manner was because he was getting a lot more reps when Najee wasn't out there and some of the injuries, but his physical conditioning was awesome. So he was able to play at a high level while taking on all those reps. For Kendrick Green, I'm hoping that his cardio is where it needs to be because it's nothing worse than
pounds.
Yeah, I'm hoping it worked out because it's nothing worse than you get this opportunity. You've been crying about it, or not crying, but you've been wanting this. You've been waiting on it. You get it, and you're not prepared for it. Can't have that. So for him, hopefully, man, he's in enough shape that he'll be able to take on this extra reps for as long as that goes. We'll see what the extent with Dotson is later on. But, yeah, for my man Kendrick Green, man. We'll see how it goes out for him, man. But I'm excited for him because every player, man, I feel like deserves that opportunity. Like, you're gonna have moments where everything goes right for you, and that's fine. But when you have something bad on your tape, I just feel like, yo, give the guys a chance to go out there and correct it. We know how it ended for Kendrick Green, but now you got a chance. Go out there and correct it, man.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a feel-good story to him if he could pull this off.
Absolutely.
The only problem is he's going up against Steeler fan favorite Kevin Dotson. So I would be in Kendrick Green's corner in this one, but I'm sorry, you're going up against Mr. 69. It's Dotson's position, please. You're just in the way.
Good depth, though. Give us good depth.
Yeah, actually 100%.
Yeah, he gave us depth.
I'm not shocked that this is the case based off all these training camp reports. I was more shocked going into training camp when they said there's actually a competition at left guard between Dotson and Green. Like, if you would have told us that heading into the offseason, like, let's say back in February or March or like whenever the season ended, it's like, what?
Yeah, we didn't look like it was
Kevin
crazy.
Dotson actually played good last year whenever he was healthy. He was just banged up all the time. And you're telling me that dude at center that we eventually had to, like...
Talking about why you got to call him that dude. It's like, come on, man. Jeez.
Kendrick Green at center.
Yeah, come on, man.
We eventually had to pseudo-bench him, say he was injured, and put in Hassenauer late in the season. You're saying he's going to be the starting left guard over Kevin Dotson? I could never see that. But apparently he's not doing bad, and I guess it is like a legit competition going on.
Well, and
I'm not thrilled about it. It feels like disrespect to Dotson, but hey. They've been trying to knock the man down for how long, but he just keeps winning.
I don't know if it's necessarily them trying to knock him down and some of it being self-inflicted by him. But
there's the reports. I guess we don't know it's accurate, but you're right. There's this whole thing that they keep on trying to motivate.
And
Dotson.
I told you when I talked to him this all season, and he hit me with it, and I was like, yo, so what did you do like when you would get done with a game, or how would you get your body right? And he's like, I would just go to sleep. And when he told me that, I'm like, oh, that's the first issue. Like, you're playing one of the most physically demanding positions in all of football. You can't just get done with a game or a practice and just go lay down. Like, you got to get massages. You got to regular massages. Let me clarify that, please. Yes, not the funny massages, the professional massages. I have a masseuse that I could recommend. Just one masseuse, okay? I don't got all that. I'd have had my lady for 7 years now, all right? Just throwing the thing on out there, okay? But with that, though, it's like, yeah, man, you got to take care of your body. So when you talk about him dealing with some of the injuries or even his play at certain times as the season will progress, not being where we would want it to be across the board consistently week in and week out, a lot of that does go back to that. I'm sure for the coaching staff, when they're watching him practice, Wednesday, Thursday, after a game, if you're not getting your body taken care of, man, Wednesday and Thursday looks horrendous. You feel like you can't walk. So it's like, man, the fact that my man was just going to sleep and he's still playing 90 to 100% of these snaps on offense, that was the first problem right there. So it's good to hear that he at least corrected that. So from there, man, we just got to see if he can continue going forward, man.
Last one on offense for me, at least. Connor Hayward is the third tight end over Kevin Rader and Jace Sternberger. Jace Sternberger's been having, you've been talking highly about him, right?
Jace has definitely been having a camp, man. I think the Connor over Jace is more, I think that with Connor, he's just a little bit more intriguing. They're doing certain things with him from a passing perspective, also doing things with him blocking wise. And he just, to me, I think he's a better athlete as well. With Jace is still going to be playing well, but I think Jace still has to develop. I think he still has to improve, especially like when you're talking about the blocking element and things like that. I think that, and then just the consistency every play, every day. You can have flashes, and he's had that, right? You see the touchdown in 7-shot, touchdown in the red zone. Like, he's been doing some of that, but it's just like you need more consistency. And I think that's going to be the big thing with him, with Kevin Radar, even with Connor Hayward. This is just on paper right now. But for him, he's going to have to show that he can not just make plays in practice, but he can take that from practice to the actual game. And that's going to be a whole nother element to it when you talk about going into that stadium. For some players, that's going to be their first time ever in an NFL stadium. I tell you my story. Washington, they were the Redskins during that time, but that was like my first preseason game. It was my first time in an NFL stadium on game day. I had been at the Colts stadium for the combine, but it was the combine. It was empty. It was football players and scouts. That was it. Did not feel like anything special. But you talk about me pulling up to that Washington stadium, 3 hours before kickoff, and it's my first time ever in an NFL stadium, ever at a just football period at this level. Man, you're thinking about everything. I'm taking selfies. I'm warming up. I almost hurt myself in warm-ups. I was so hyped, bro. Like, that's what you deal with. So for him and for these younger guys that have never played in this league, they're going to have that opportunity. They're going to have to see, can they handle that? So that's going to be another part for them. It's going to be interesting come Saturday, man.
Speaking of brothers on the team, Derek Watt, starting fullback. No one around him.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. When you said brothers on the team, I said, Deke, I don't know what type of brothers you're referring to. Deke, don't make it awkward, man.
No, but I mean, having Connor Hayward like officially slotted as crazy. A tight end, that makes you think they're both making it. Because we were having that conversation heading into it. Like, all right, who's getting cut? Because we thought Connor Hayward was going to be more like fullback.
Correct, yeah.
Have you seen him doing that type of stuff, though?
Well, this is the thing,
because it seems like he's playing more tight end.
He has been. Those reports have been accurate. I will just go back to saying
it doesn't look like he's got the size for tight end.
But
that's the interesting thing.
But this is what I would go back to saying is this, though, man. When they're using him as a tight end, think of like how they used Will Johnson here as a tight end.
Yeah.
You remember Will, right? Will wasn't Zach Gentry. He wasn't Matt Spaeth. He was built a little bit more like a smaller David Johnson. So he was a little bit more agile, could move a little bit better. They would have him as a fullback and as a tight end, sometimes point of the attack, but he was the motion guy. He was because I played against him first when I was in Buffalo, and we looked at him on tape and said, that's the action guy. If he's motioning over here, that ball's following him. If he's coming over here, that ball's following him. If he's running a route, they're not throwing it to him. Like, that was just kind of like how we would think of it, because we knew, okay, Heath is this tight end.
Connor could actually catch, though, a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Absolutely. So it's like, it's certain things. So to me, I look at what they're doing with Connor as the same way how they played Will. Like that. It'll have him at fullback. He'll line up as the wing. You know what I mean? Like, he'll be doing that type of stuff. And I think that he's more than capable of that. I just think that for Derek is more of a traditional fullback. You're not doing a lot of that type of movement, route running and stuff like that. Even though, I mean, like I said, last year in camp, he did do some things where he was catching the ball. I just don't think that that's where, he makes his money. That's not his game. Where I think Connor's just a little bit more rangier from the athletic perspective that he could do that. But also, when you talk about Derek Watt as a blocker, Derek Watt is more advanced as an NFL fullback blocker than Connor Hayward is right now. So that's the side for Connor where he's going to have to improve and stuff like that. So both of them bring certain things to the table. I just think for Connor, he's just really intriguing because of you can essentially address multiple spots with one player. Whereas with Derek, you're looking at him saying, you're just this. With Connor, it's like you could be this, and maybe some of that. So.
It'd be a great over-under. Derek Watt snaps per game.
Oh.
What would you set it at? 3?
I'm giving him respect.
You take the average. You take the average of all of his snaps throughout the season.
I think he was getting like 5 a game, maybe. Not counting special teams.
Not counting special teams.
Not counting special. I think he was getting about 5 snaps total.
So you'd have it at, let's just say the line's at 5. Would you say over or under?
I'll take the under. Yeah.
Without Ben at quarterback though this year.
I'm taking.
Do you think it changes?
I think I'm taking the under still, bro.
Makes the team though.
I think he does. Yeah, I do.
Damn it.
Yeah, I do think he's gonna make it, bro. But we'll see, man.
Do it for TJ. That's fine.
If Connor comes out here or do it the other way, piss TJ off, cut his brother, and talk greasy about him while you do it. So TJ is pissed, and we saw how that worked out last time when TJ was pissed, bro.
I don't know if that motivates him in a good way though. That might make him sad.
No, he'll be pissed.
I feel like TJ getting snubbed, like the Madden rating.
He'll say,
definitely motivates TJ.
No, he was gonna say, and I took this personally. Y'all didn't respect y'all thought Cam was a better big brother than me, or y'all thought Cam was a better brother, so y'all chose Cam over me. Y'all kept Connor here instead of my brother. Okay, say no more. I'm gonna go out here and beat the heck out of everybody I see, and make every time I get a sack, I'm pointing to you, Coach T. And I'm holding up Derek's number. Yep.
Is that how Edmonds is feeling? Maybe?
That's what I think, bro. Absolutely.
Ooh, they got rid of Trey. Edmonds' career year. All right, defense. Unless you had anyone else on offense.
You know the two we go into on defense. So which one you want to start with? Corner or linebacker? Huh? Which one you want to go with first?
The cornerback, Levi Wallace and Akella Witherspoon, supposedly competing for this left cornerback spot, is absolutely mind-boggling. I think it's a joke. It has to be.
I personally think that it is as well. You also have to remember that Levi hasn't been out there every single day either. He's been dealing. They haven't actually said what it was. It's not COVID, but they said he was dealing with some type of like they don't. It's
Illness.
like illness,
Yeah,
but they
they've been saying
haven't like
illness.
elaborated what it was. So, we don't know, but we know he's been missing time. So, a part of it, but we know he's been missing time. So, a part of it is that, yeah, but we know, man, when Levi is back and he's fully healthy and he's out there, and he should be coming back out there this week. He might have been out there today. I'm not sure. I got to look. But, once he's back out there and Akelo's back out there, I think everything settles itself, and both of those guys will be out there right and left. I also think that part of that was to pay respect to Cam Sutton, because he did start at outside corner for how many games last year for us, and he wasn't bad out there. Like, we thought that he was good.
He was
We just thought that, you know, he was going to be a little bit capped just on his physical traits. But
yeah, you saw in some of the bigger offensive games, like whenever we played the Chiefs, just some things like, man, he's getting toasted.
Yeah. So it's like certain matchups he's going to struggle with. But as a whole, man, you win with Cam Sutton. You need Cam Sutton on your team, and you need them in your top threes. And he's one of them dudes, man, that I just think that Coach T, they trying to make sure that he still feels respected. But I think big picture, they know that it's going to end up being Akelo, Levi, and Cam bumping into that inside.
Yeah, you could read this one of two ways.
But Cam has been balling out in camp, though. Don't get it twisted.
That's what I've heard, too.
Cam has been having a camp. It's just money-wise,
contract year for him.
Yeah. But it's just one of them things. It's just very hard when these two dudes are getting 4 year for them not to have them guys out there with that starting unit. It's not crazy money, but...
Wait, isn't Cam around for a year?
No, I thought he did 2 for 9. I thought he was...
That's what I mean. So, like,
you're actually right, though. Hold on, man. Let's check it out. Let's pull it up.
If I had to bet, I think it was.
Pull it up. I think he's a little bit less this year, man. Pull it up.
Oh, you think it is a weird, like, cap type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
So how we?
But yeah, just spot rack.
How we going off this though? Like his average per year, or just what his cap hit
go
this
to
year?
spot rack. No, the cap hit. No, we're talking about just like what he's going to get paid this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 2 years, $9 million.
Yeah, it's 2 for 9.
Wow.
So see how we're structured. Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, average salary 4.5.
Yeah. Okay.
This year, it looked like they did some voided year type of stuff with him. Cap hit 5.2.
Okay. What's his base?
Base 4.5.
Okay, well, yeah. Excuse me then. I did not know that. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was structured a little bit differently last year, man. But shout out then. So
he's actually getting paid more than Akelo and Levi Wallace.
Yeah, I did not know that. Yeah. I thought he was slightly under them, man.
Witherspoon and Wallace weren't technically con deals, but I mean, it just goes to show how good our front office has been this offseason.
Cow,
I
man.
think.
Holy cow.
Because there's no way in how you could have told me that Cam Sutton deserves to get paid more than Levi Wallace and Akelo Witherspoon. There's no way.
Cam was going to be around 3. I thought he was at 3.35 this year. I did not know. Yeah, that's... Shoot, shout out to my dog Cam, man. I'm going to hit you up, bro. Come on, man. Dinner's on you, player. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you can take this one of two ways. I mean, because you can still read it as like Levi, Akelo, and Cam Sutton are still the top 3.
They're definitely the top 3, yeah.
You could read it that way, or you could read it as whoever loses the Levi Akelo battle is the backup, and then it becomes Levi, Cam Sutton on the outside, or whoever wins the left cornerback on the outside, plus Cam Sutton, and then Arthur Mallette in the nickel.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that way. I don't either. It's got to be a joke. The top 3 are Levi Wallace, Akelo, Cam Sutton. You can't tell me otherwise.
I would agree with you on that, bro.
I have to see it to believe it.
I'm not buying into that at all. Yeah.
Arthur Mallette as the backup slot, though, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about our 4th and 5th corners being like Pierre and Lane.
Yep.
I like that.
I would agree.
We have pretty nice depth at corner, and I
would definitely agree.
Our top guys at corner as well. I like the unit as a whole.
Yeah.
That was shocking to me, though.
How you feel about Spillane and D. Bush, though?
Spillane at Bush.
Little slash action.
Both listed as first team left inside linebacker. Obviously, it goes back to there's no more seltzers.
Hold on, I got one left. Hey now.
Nice.
You know, cracker. Which is mango?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Right. Trying to think. Yeah, with this Bush Spillane scenario, I think it goes back to what I was saying about left guard. Like, if you would have told me, man, there's a legitimate shot Spillane could start over Devin Bush across Miles Jack, you would have told me that like 2 or 3 months ago.
Craziness.
Yeah, because we drafted Devin Bush, top 10. His last year was coming off the knee injury, so we could give him a little bit of an excuse there. And you just thought, all right, we're going to give this dude every opportunity to be successful, especially now that we brought in a guy that's better than Bush. And now Bush can just kind of do whatever. We talked about this with Garvin, though. Apparently, Miles Jack's more the rover guy. It's going to be Devin Bush or Spillane having the green dot.
Right. And TG and we both kind of talked about what TG and he said. We all kind of agree that Spillane, or at least me and TG were talking about it. That Spillane does give you a little bit more security when you're talking about being the communicator, the vocal green dot guy versus a Devin Bush. Even though we feel like athletically, Devin is a better athlete, is a better, potentially better player, but that's the dynamic of it. So if they're not going to make that switch of putting that on Miles Jack, well, now you have to take into account, which one do you want? Do you want the steady communicator who's always going to have this defense on the same page? Or do you want the guy that gives you more upside, but we could potentially be over here, you playing one thing on this side of the field, we playing something totally different over here because of lack of communication. That's
unless they're just bringing Miles Jack along slowly.
That could be the case as well.
Which is what I would hope. Now, dude, all right, I'm going to get into some technical things here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I'm right or wrong on this.
For it,
I want to hear this.
Yeah.
If Spillane is the guy across Miles Jack and he's the green dot guy,
okay,
are they going to be playing more cover one then? If it is man, just to have him in that like middle zone as opposed to like playing man on the running back or like tight end or anything like that.
You're referring to Spillane specifically, what we have him doing? Yeah, if you're having Spillane and Miles Jack, Spillane is going to be your running back guy, or he's going to be your blitzer. It would be like the preseason last year, but you would try to.
I don't like him on a running back though.
No, I get you on that, but this is the issue with it. It's a gift and the curse, right? The RB LB matchup, you're playing chicken. You want to see, can I blitz to keep this dude in? Because if he has to block now, it's backs on backers, right? Who's backs on backers slanted towards? Robert's playing the linebackers. If it goes 1v1 pass catching, who's that slanted towards? That offensive guy, that running back. So Coach T, Terrell Austin, Brian Flores to an extent, like they would just have to figure out how to protect Spillane in those situations. Because you can get away with it, just by certain calls. Hey, man, we'll mix it up. We'll run a pressure, but we'll play zone coverage behind it. We'll run cover 3 behind it. We'll go fire zone coverage. So, all right, he's man, but he still has some help. Okay, he can switch routes. He'll still have somebody to kind of protect him a little bit. But the other times are, all right, we're going to need you to blitz, and the way you have to do it, you need to make your disguise look like you are coming. To where that running back feels like he doesn't have an option. He has to stay in. Because if you could do that, you'll be fine. Vince Williams, it was plenty of times where Vince was in coverage, but his disguise made it look like he was blitzing, and that running back had to stay in. And that's what Vince wanted. That was his wheelhouse. But if that running back sees you playing with it or you not really committed, and he's like, oh, I'm going to just fast release. Now you don't get that luxury. Now you got to go chase this dude and try to win and try to go have a foot race. That's not Spillane's game. So his pre-snap becomes more critical, becomes more impactful for him to protect him. Now, if it's a matchup that he feels good about, or he's like, let me play the down and distance. All right, it's 3rd and 3, or it's 3rd and 5, or 3rd and 5 and less. We can call cover 1 because the routes that I'm going to get are going to be shorter. They're going to be going sideline anyways. But I also know, man, they're not going to have a 5 wide set. They're not going to have, or not a 5. They're not going to have a long drawn out pass play on 3rd and 5. It's going to be a little bit different, right? All right. So you can call certain calls then. It's going to be other times where it's maybe backed up, 2nd and long. It's like, all right, man, hey, we'll need to protect Spillane right here. Leave him in the zone. Leave him in the zone right here. All right. It's 3rd down again. Dude, man, it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. They really about to air this thing out. We don't like Spillane on this matchup.
He shouldn't be on the field, maybe.
So you got 2 options. We can call a design blitz where we're sending him and you play whatever coverage behind it, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to play, you could do that. Or you do packages, right? Marcus Allen or whoever we think is our coverage guy. If it's a Damani Casey, whoever we want to bring in there as that dime linebacker.
Yeah.
Hey, you come in here and you play the coverage. That's the other alternative. So you can still make it work. But you just got to be really smart with it. And you need Spillane to be a smart player and him to understand the significance of his pre-snap disguises. But as long as he does that, you can still get away with it. And some coaches would rather it be that way. And they know that, hey, we're going to always be on the same page call wise than the alternative of, hey, I'm not worried about Devin matching up with this running back, but is Devin going to get this check? Is Devin going to communicate this to this front? Is he going to get that part? Like, that's some of the questions that you'd have to ask.
And I feel like at least Spillane brings you some positive to the run stopping.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd prefer, as much as I say I don't want Spillane matchup on a running back in the passing, I'd probably prefer that, though, as opposed to a tight end.
Yeah, tight ends running way more vertical routes, man. They can kill you. Absolutely.
Because, and then there's only a certain amount of running backs that are actually like really good route runners too. Yeah.
The thing though, in terms of why the running back could hurt you is the missed tackle
to the house,
and everybody's got their back turned because you're in man-to-man coverage. When it's zone coverage, you can get away with a missed tackle because all eyes are looking forward. We can see that. Bro, the worst feeling is when I'm in coverage with you. You've taken me on God knows what route on the other side of the field. He threw a little check down. This dude missed the tackle. And now I'm 30 yards downfield and I got to turn around and try to go over here. And we all trying to converge on that ball. Like, that's a bad feeling, you know? And that's what you have to worry about when you're talking about Spillane with the running back and coverage. Yes, the route itself, the route tree for the running back is nothing crazy. You go into the flat, you got ins, you got an out, you got to stop. You got the little arrow route where they
little Texas route.
Yeah, you call it Texas, we call it the arrow V, right here, and then coming right back. That's it. Cool. Or they'll go empty. He's gonna line up at the number one receiver route. He's either running vertical, or he's gonna run a stop, or he's gonna run an in. It ain't much that he could do. Most time they're gonna line up out there and they just gonna motion him back out there. They just want to see if you can line up on it. That's it. So as long as you're smart enough to know that and you understand how to pre-snap, make it look a certain way, you'll be fine. But if you're not, then they gonna expose you. And we know in the NFL they will expose you with the quickness. So yeah.
How serious is this competition, you think?
It's serious. No, it's definitely serious. Spillane's been doing his thing, man. Devin hasn't been playing bad. It's just Devin hasn't been having splash. That's the difference. Spillane's had more splash in camp. Devin hasn't had the splash. Both have been playing good in terms of just the regular consistency stuff. But when one has interceptions, forced fumbles, PBUs, and the other, you're not getting a lot of that, it just feels different, you know? Because it's like Devin is still doing his job. He's aligned where he's supposed to be. He's fitting the right holes, but it's just, you need to see something. You need to see plays being made. And that's for him where, all right, today is a day. Tomorrow's another day. Every single day that you're out there, go make a play. That's what you have. That has to be your mindset for Devin. And when you get to these preseason games, he's going to be a guy that's going to get to play in these, or he should at least. You got to make plays, bro. You have to make plays out there. But that's the difference right now in terms of how I view Devin and Spillane. Both are playing well. It's just Spillane has had more splash.
Wow. It's interesting because Spillane didn't even have that good of a year last year. Particularly in the preseason. It kind of left a bad taste in your mouth.
Well, because it was what we were just talking about. And the thing is, in terms of what I was breaking down to you just then, was if I'm the coordinator and I'm trying to design ways to protect Spillane. In the preseason, they don't do that.
True.
So that's why last year when we talked about, man, why Spillane looking so bad? It's like, because they're not trying to protect him. They're essentially saying, hey, bro, we're playing cover one. I don't care who's over there. And Spillane don't have a scouting report. He don't know which running back he's going to see. He doesn't know what calls they want to run because you just don't do that in the preseason. Preseason, if like, it's designed for athletes. You want to be an athlete during the preseason because you don't know who you're gonna be matched up with.
That's why they say good preseason players,
dude.
Bad preseason player. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, like it's legit. Like, yeah, you'll get out there. You're like, bro, I've never heard this. I've never seen him. I don't know what to expect. Oh, he's 4'4". What? Like, why? How I draw this short stick today, bro? This sucks. Like, that happens. Yeah, and you just got to figure out a way now. For certain players, for me, I knew, okay, if I didn't have it athletically, I was going to outthink you. And that's kind of how you bridge that gap. So for Spillane, he's going to have another one of these opportunities with another matchup. Hopefully it's in his favor, but more than likely it won't be. It just, bro, certain people.
It's not going to play well to the crowd.
When I said it's not in his favor, I'm speaking like how I talk about myself. We're good athletes. We're not great athletes. We're not Bud Dupree's and Ryan Shazier's.
Spillane got that 88 speed in Madden though.
No, I was in the 80s too. Don't get it twisted now. Don't get it twisted. But in the sense of, we don't expect him to come into a matchup with a running back or a tight end and be like, yo, I'm a better athlete than this guy. Like, it's not, I can count on my hands me feeling like that in a game. Like, oh,
he knows
this
what he's
tight
in
end,
for.
boy, he's a wash. It's a wrap. Oh, this running back, oh, hey, coach, don't even look this way. It's locked. Hey, welcome to Moats Island. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it ain't often I felt like that. So it was, let's start thinking down in distance. What's this guy split? Who's in the vicinity? What's the coverage? Where's the weakness? Where's my help? That was how to be the process, but that's how you could overcome those situations. So for Spillane, that's what he's going to have to really focus in on during this preseason time frame, because he's going to get some matchups where it's not going to be favorable for him just from an athletic perspective. But if he can understand call, he can understand what the weaknesses and strengths of it is. He understands the pieces around him. he'll be fine. He's smart enough that he can process that. And that's why I'm bringing it up for him. You don't hear me talk a lot like that for Devin in the sense of, oh, you need to know this. Is like, yo, Devin, this is what you're supposed to do, man. Just hit your gap, bro. Be physical. But for Spillane, he's a little bit more advanced in that capacity. Like, he can process all of those things prior to and still be able to be effective out there.
Percentages of starter week 1 as we sit right now. I feel like Devin's got the upper hand. I mean, they have him listed ahead of Spillane on this.
Put it like this. Devin's still in the driver's seat. Terrell Austin even confirmed it. I think it was like a week ago when he was essentially saying, yes, Spillane has been rotating in. Yes, we're loving what Spillane is doing, but the depth chart still is Miles Jack and Devin Bush as our starting linebackers. He was clear and definitive when he said that. So, yes, Devin is still in that driver's seat. I just think that the further this thing progresses and the longer he keeps that door open, that's when you set yourself up for anything happening. You know, the longer you allow Robert Spillane to make plays in practice, he go out there in these preseason games, start making plays. It's going to be a lot harder for them to make a decision when they're saying, all right, I mean, yes, Devin was our 10th overall pick, but he wasn't as productive during this time
you got to
frame.
throw that out the window.
Spillane has been balling. How many years removed is that now? I got to go with this guy. That's what it goes to, right? And that's for Devin what he has to be careful with. Like I said, he's not playing bad, but the longer you keep that door open because you're allowing this young guy to make plays, or not young guy, but you're allowing another guy to make plays and you're not, that's how the switcheroo happens, man. So
yeah, it feels like it's more. I mean, obviously, Spillane probably has a shot at this. Mm-hmm. As you said, you think it's really legit, this competition.
Yeah.
But it's got to be more for Devin Bush. Like, bro, how do you respond to this competition? Because everything up to this point has been given to him.
Yeah. But even with that, to me, it's crazy because I've seen the other way of how they handle competitions where it's not this much leniency, it's not this much, we're going to give you benefit of the doubt, the benefit of the doubt. I've seen it where...
Oh, so you should, like, if we're going in tomorrow,
that's
it
what I
should
was
be
saying.
Spillane.
Yeah, but because of, you know, how they view him and everything that they've done throughout his career for him, I do think that is part of the reason why they continue to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I mean, for him, man, I'm glad that he gets the opportunity. I just hope that he makes the most of it.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's the part for me.
We're all rooting for it,
Yeah.
because if you have Devin Bush at his full potential and Miles Jack, that could be lethal.
That's my thing. It's like, man, you're too good of a player to not be playing to that level.
We saw it his rookie year. It's just a bummer the whole
thing.
knee injury thing happened, but can we get back to that at least? Yeah. I mean, because we still need better than that. Mm-hmm. But even back to his rookie year, just in this fourth season, if he could get to that kind of play,
he would be fine.
That'd be good. Because I thought he played pretty good his rookie year. There was obviously some growing pains, but
he was a rookie, and that's understandable. He was a rookie, but the consistency, man, he has to start making a little bit more splash, man. That's the thing.
Anything else on defense?
No, that was.
I really don't think so.
That was what I was good with right there, man.
Cornerbacks, inside linebackers, defensive line as is, Ogunjobi, Alualu, Hayward. And then you have Loudermilk, Adams, Wormley.
How you feel about the homie Mondu? All the way at the end of the depth chart, bro. That's crazy. They tried my dog like that, man. Come on, bro.
Well,
Henry made plays for us. Don't you get it twisted, man.
The second team's Loudermilk, Adams, Wormley. The third team is Davis, Costin, and Liao. I mean, that's a decent third team. And people are talking highly about Davis in camp, too.
Yeah.
And people actually are saying Costin ain't that bad either.
I know.
And obviously, Liao, I mean, I wouldn't even mind him getting some snaps throughout the season.
I know.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because I like Mondu, too.
I do, too, man.
It was a good interview.
Yeah. Play offense and defense for us, man. Game changer.
Yeah. Inside linebacker, Ulysses Gilbert. He's listed as the second team after Bush and Spillane.
Yep.
Marcus Allen, though, on second team over Buddy Johnson and Mark Robinson. Is that the sleeper TG's talking about?
Well, hey, now. See some similarities in the game and stuff like that. Former safeties and everything. But no, man, Marcus has been doing bro. Marcus has been having one. But this is also good to see for Marcus because this is, 3 years now of him locking into that LB position. We saw when they first transitioned 2 years ago, and he had the opportunity to play in Buffalo. And we were like, man, we liked some of it, but at the same time, we knew with certain physical elements that he just didn't have then. Obviously, last season, man, we thought that he did a better job of changing his body. Just come back looking fuller, looking like a LB. Now you're talking about that third year at that position. He's starting to get more comfortable, and you're starting to see that athletic ability and just, his comfort level at that position, man, really starting to show, man. So I'm definitely liking that, man. But once again, for him, games matter because he's a veteran now. He's going to be able to practice to a certain level. Games matter, though. But the one thing that Marcus has in his pocket that a lot of these other guys don't have is he is the personal protector on punt. So as long as you're the personal protector on punt, that pretty much guarantees you a job here, man. Because you got to have your personal protector on punt. That's like the quarterback of your punt team, man.
Miles Killebrew.
Come on, man. Fine. Absolutely. There's certain players, bro. Derek White, he's been around for a while. Benny Snell. There's certain ones like, yo, you're not just beating them at running back or receiver or whatever position they play. You're beating them out on special teams. Mark sounds a core 4 guy, bro. And he gets tackles. Yeah.
That was nice going over the depth chart. We got super chats?
Or let's do supers and then we'll go to the next topic.
All right, cool. Oh man, let me know if I'm off on this one. So we got a lot of chats coming in. Kyle Monier talking about Joe Hayden. Am I off?
Oh, all right. I got 2 in front of you.
All right.
No, actually, no, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Yep, you're good. Yep.
He says, bring back Joe Hayden for the Super Bowl run.
Hey, man.
I like our cornerback room. We're good.
Would you like it more with Joe there, though?
Someone got hurt. Yeah.
Okay.
Does it work for Joe being the 4th guy?
You said does it work?
Yeah. Because I want Cam, Levi, and Akella being the top 3 guys.
Fair enough.
At this point in their careers.
Yeah. No, I mean, because the youth element of it, but I mean, it's funny you said that because at this point in their careers, you want to just roll with them, right? You want to open that door for those guys. They might say that about the quarterback room as well. Just think about your guy 7, man, in terms of why they would have also wanted to move on from him to open the door for some of the younger dudes, man. You
That's
know,
different.
Mason, man,
That's
Kenny
different.
bringing him in here,
That's
man.
different.
Come on, I was just saying.
2 Super Bowls for the city. Come on. That's different. That's different.
Just say it. You know what I'm saying? Open the door, man.
I don't know if there's 3 guys in the league that can make that pass that he made last year to Frymouth against the Vikings. I don't know if there's 3 guys still.
I think that's fine. That's cool.
I watched that play again. He almost got sacked as he was throwing it too. It was literally snapped 2 seconds. Almost.
What about some of the other plays where it was like, it's a lot of guys that could make those throws?
Nothing's really coming to mind right now.
All good.
I'm sorry.
Hey, look, your birthday was just yesterday. It's all good, man. Been for president. I'm with you, bro. We ain't tripping.
I remember the Ravens final drive for getting the playoff.
I remember the victory lap at against the Browns. I remember the victory lap.
I remember too. I got snubbed. I got snubbed on the handshake.
Yeah, that hurt. I hurt for you. Yes.
I was out there too. Remember,
bro.
I was on TV. I was on ESPN.
You was going so hard for him, bro. Yeah, and he just passed you by.
I got snubbed. Fish momentum. Boy, this team is gonna be something special. He feels it too.
Nah, man, it's got the makings of it without a doubt, man.
It's all
definitely
on the quarterback.
has the makings of it.
It really is.
Yeah.
I think we're a playoff team. We need the quarterback to step up. I need a guy late in the game. Can you pull through for us? Do something special. Do we have that in Mitch? Do we have it in Mason? Do we have it in Pickett? I feel like Pickett, yeah. I mean, he just reinvigorated the Pitt program. That's in him. He just needs to get familiar with the playbook and stuff.